I have never been depressed, but I have definitely felt low. I have never been depressed, but I've been extremely low. And ultimately, it has been two reasons. And these main two reasons that people face are a lack of drive and purpose in your life, and too much pleasure and indulgence in your life. And ultimately, these two intertwined with each other. You need to create yourself a life that is worth living for yourself. Otherwise, you're always at risk of feeling low or depressed in your life if you have no drive and purpose to fulfill. And ultimately, I was always aware of how to avoid this depression, because ultimately one of the main caveats for depression is, like I've said, is that overriding indulgence and pleasure. And it's one of the easiest things to detox. If you indulge in too much pleasure, your dopamine baseline will keep dropping, and the lowest that baseline can go is this depression state. So having healthy habits or living a healthy lifestyle will keep that stable or even increase it. Each time you indulge, you ultimately just get weaker and weaker, which is why people that have drug addictions end up suiciding, because they have nothing to live for, and they have no drive because their baseline is too low. There's no point of indulging because of this, because of the fact that you will feel low after you indulge, as your baseline will drop. You'll get the high and then it will slowly drop. If it is too much, then that baseline will go lower and you'll feel even worse from that. You've got to keep your brain healthy, ultimately. Depression is invisible to everyone if you are blind to how much pleasure you are partaking in. You have to control what comes in and out of your brain daily. You have to be aware of what habits you've got to be aware of your weaknesses that you can't control. Do the disciplined activities to stop yourself from indulging in stop yourself indulging in pleasure. You have to be extremely careful in how you react. React in a way to depression that your brain can handle and withstand, to ensure that you don't get worse. So to ensure that you don't get worse, ultimately. So incorporating breath work and using affirmations in your life can ultimately aid this depressive state for you. Being able to keep your brain healthy and being able to withstand the pressure that is putting on itself is so important and vital. Realize or understand how much strain that you're putting on your brain daily to ensure that you don't get worse. Pleasure, dopamine, motivation, adrenaline links, and it is so easy to get hooked to dopaminergic pleasures or activities or habits. It's so easy to fall back. Something else that is important that I was going to do a separate video on, through healthy dopamine habits or activities, build your baseline of dopamine through having fun and things like sunlight, working hard. Things like sunlight working hard, reaching goals, talking to people that seems hard, like girls or cool guys. You need to be able to understand that disciplined activities will grow your baseline, and things that are easy and very pleasurable will drop your baseline, making you more depressed and putting you in a depressive state. Being aware of things like alcohol, drugs, and then habits, stopping all of that. The next thing is to start a weakness tracker of all the habits or activities that are destroying this baseline. I am going to coach people on this and help people on this by you reaching out to or DMing me on Instagram. I'm going to put a link in my Instagram bio for a coaching package that you can use to help your depression or your low state that you are in. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Comment if you think that previous idea is a good idea and whether you think that you want to access that or use that. Depression is obviously a very touchy and hard subject to talk about, but I ultimately think that the tips and the formula that I can build will truly help you. So make sure that you start this weakness tracker. You're aware of what you are doing daily to destroy your baseline. You might have a lack of direction, and that's fine, but that's a caveat, and it's something to grow, and it's something that will get you out of this depressive state that you're in. It's something that is hurting you. Living a monk's life and not gaining any progress or joy from it, it obviously isn't going to help you or aid you. Depression, suicide from depression, is ultimately walking in on your family with a suicide vest and killing everyone. Ultimately, think about it. Is that truly something that you want for everyone, for yourself, for your family, for friends? It'll be friends as well. It'll be friends on top of that. Suicide through depression is wearing a suicide vest, killing all of your friends and family and yourself at once. Take some valuable time to appreciate your strengths. Appreciate what you have in your life, the valuable things, how valuable you are. Be accountable for your issues and your problems, your setbacks. Take some time to appreciate your self-image, your character. But let's build this plan for change in your life. I hope you have a good rest of your week, or your weekend, or your day, and hopefully you can understand the things that I'm talking about, and hopefully they will help you. And ultimately, we all want to help you, each other in this video. Make sure hopefully you can comment some support and advice for each other in the comments below. Peace out.